श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। Om Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Day before yesterday, Papa made us to dwell on two aspects. One about Mataji's absence of otherness, We call it as generosity or, but to her it was absence of otherness. And then Baba was talking about constant God remembrance. What is constant God remembrance? He warned us all, what is meant by remembrance of God? It is not simply uttering the name. The repetition of the name must bring God into the mind. Otherwise, repetition is mechanical. It is no good repeating God's name like a parrot. Remembrance must develop into an intoxication of God. And that intoxication in turn must develop into God consciousness. So much so, you come to know that you and He are one. And thereafter, you are aware of the divine presence at all times. So something, very difficult for us. But because so far when we have been chanting, we were not bringing all these dimensions. He gave us the aptitude or inclination to chant the name. We developed a taste for it. But now he is introducing that it must lead you to God remembrance.
We are chanting on the day of chanting.
Sessions, maybe so many. Mataji told us to chant, so we chant. No. The purpose of chanting is to have God remembrance. So, day for yesterday we also discussed that why are we not in a position, not that we don't want, we all want God remembrance. But this has not taken deep root in us probably because, we don't say it is right, it might be due to the fact that we are still to get the clarity on the word God. Unlike any other thing, it is not an object. So to remember an object is easy. But here it is the very subject. So to go back to the subject, we are now chanting or we are trying to remember Him with the help of the one whose name we are chanting. That is the peculiarity here. When we say God remembrance, still we feel that it is outside. So there should be some effort on our part to get more and more clarity on the word God. The more we get clarity on the word God, probably the faster we will be making a move towards Him. At that time, Papa also reminded of his quotation that we should have the right conception of God before we try to attain Him. Kindly think about it. We have used the word constant, Any awareness, any consciousness about an object, it comes and plays for some time and then goes. See? We become aware of a person, we become aware of an object, we become aware of a situation, we become aware of an event. It doesn't stay with us, it keeps on going and dying. So we know so long as it's an object other than me, it will not stay. So when he says it should be constant God remembrance, that constancy can be ensured only when we get more and more clarity on the word God. God is the very subject. that power because of which the name is being chanted is the one we are seeking. The power to seek is given by that power. The power to seek is given by that power. So the whole norms have to be changed, When he says, here again he says, what is God consciousness? Somebody asked. He says, you should know you are not the body, but the divine reality, pure wisdom, all-pervading light, infinite love, everlasting joy, all put together. What is God consciousness? You should know you are not the body, but the divine reality, pure wisdom, all-pervading light, infinite love, everlasting joy, all put together. That you are. Ordinarily, man thinks he is a body subject to birth, growth, decay, disease and death. But he is truly a changeless, birthless, deathless Atman, whose nature is bliss and peace. To realize this is to attain God consciousness. So from the concept of an object, we have to now somehow try to tune, tutor, learn, train our mind that it is the very subject. It is the very subject. It is the very subject. So whatever norms we were having to keep up the remembrance of an object, it does not apply here. We have been applying the same norm. That is why we have not been able to maintain. Papa was blunt in telling, even while we are chanting, we were thinking that we are chanting the name of one who is above, who is other than us. So in order that misunderstanding is clear, is that you are chanting the name of your own self, Atmaram. You have forgotten that. So ceaseless repetition should enable you to know that you are Ram. Same thing he says here. You should know you are not the body, but the divine reality, pure wisdom, all-pervading light, infinite love, everlasting joy, all put together. That you are. When Ramdas visited the house of a devotee in Seattle in America, the person who introduced Ramdas to a group of spiritual aspirants told them, I have brought God to show you. She was a lady and the leader of that group. Ramdas said, God has come to see God. Question. So Papa made all of them God? Papa. No. Man thinks he is the body, but he is God. There is no question of making or unmaking. Then you know that you have not attained anything new. You have always been that. But you choose to pretend that you are a father, a brother, a son, and so on. And you belong to this place, that place. All these you assume for the sake of Leela. But really you are He. That is self-evident truth. Now here comes a small anecdote which many a time we have read and shared. But it is still worth repeating it. Question. And devotee. On Sunday we had arranged a bhajan at Guru Prasad Trivellur. Yen the singer did not come on that day. Photos of Papa and Mataji were kept in a prominent place. We had invited the Trivellur bhajan party. They came, and when they learned that Yen would not come, their leader said, excuse me, if you want me to do bhajan, you must place the picture of some god also with those photos. Papa Mataji photos are there. Then only I will start. I replied, I have no God's picture here. I have an Ananda Vigadan calendar with a picture of Muruga. I placed it in the front Then only he started. After bhajan he said, you have to excuse me. I said, I did not mind. As I see my Papa in that picture also. Some people see God only in pictures sold in the market. This was a comment made by the devotee to Papa. Papa. Some people see God in temple images only, not outside. In the early stages, this is natural. One place is holy, another is not. Temples are holy, mosques are holy, other places are not. It is better to get over that and feel the divine presence everywhere. When you see God in the photos of Papa and Mataji, why not in the other pictures also? Why did he say that, no? In Ananda Vigadan calendar was brought, there was a Muruga photo. He says, certain people, it is bought from the market, So that is why some people see God only in pictures sold in the market. So here you see, when you see God in the photos of Papa and Mataji, why not in the other picture also? So devotee, we are doing like that for the last 5 years. Papa, you must transcend all these things. You must find Him within. Devotee, if he had wanted me to remove those photos, I would have done so. I would have had no objection. Papa, then why did you keep Papa Mataji's photos for the bhajan? You must see them in yourself and everywhere. The sooner you come to realize God as indwelling and all-pervading, the better. Photos may kindle some divine emotion, but you must not stop with that, because Papa and Mataji are everywhere. God is everywhere. You are everywhere. The sense of otherness sets limit to the illimitable. That is what you did, he also did. He wanted a particular picture, you wanted our pictures. That means you both see God in pictures only. Now here, this is very important dialogue, very important dialogue. Not that we should not keep photos or images. He says, you must see them in yourself and everywhere. The sooner you come to realize God as indwelling and all-pervading, the better. Photos may kindle some divine emotion, but you must not stop with that. Because Papa Mataji are everywhere, then God is everywhere, and then you are everywhere. By this dialogue, Papa is showing us again and again and again that the God dimension, or the life force, or the Atman, or the whatever we call it, it is here, it is in Papa Mataji, it is in anything that is named as God. And we are chanting the name of that. And we have been assured when we chant the name with that perspective, there will not be a point where we will forget Him. So today he is emphasizing how to make the chanting effective. A trip back to our own original home. The sooner you come to realize God as indwelling and all-pervading, the better. Photos may kindle some divine emotion, but you must not stop with that, because Papa and Mataji are everywhere. God is everywhere. You are everywhere. The sense of otherness sets limit to the illimitable. That was a powerful quotation. The sense of otherness sets limit to the illimitable. That is what you did and he also. He wanted a particular picture, you wanted our pictures. Devotee, I keep them for the sake of outsiders. Papa, what outsiders? You have made Papa and Mataji a fetish, while really Papa and Mataji are dwelling in the hearts of all. You must get that awareness. Papa is not only in your pockets or in your room. If you want really to get him, you must see him everywhere. You have put Papa on the wall of a frame. You have put Papa on the wall in a frame. Devotee, model photos also I had. One set was sold and one I had reserved for myself. Somebody insisted on having it, I gave it away. Papa, those photos arranged for the bhajan. If anybody asks, will you give? Will you give it on your own account? If not, you think Papa is only in those pictures. A devotee, he will give and replace it. After reading this portion only, when we again, Papa directed us here. Papa directed us to the September issue of 1963 in the Vision, where after Papa Samadhi, she had elaborately written. There she says that in the Homa Mandir, there should not be any images or anything. That is the place where she named the Homa Mandir, where we offer our entire thing to Lord Agni. That means the sense of individuality is completely obliterated. So, according to, we understand from her letter that Puja Mataji wanted every one of us to make an effort to connect ourselves with the cosmic soul, the cosmic reality, the cosmic presence of the Almighty. That is why people who have been coming, you will be remembering there was no photo there, there was no open chanting there, there was no Arati there. So there should be one place where we try to connect ourselves with the indwelling and all-pervading reality. Because we are used to it, anywhere and everywhere. We need that prop. Perfectly alright. But a serious spiritual aspirant, we have been asked to transcend that. Anyway, we cannot. Circumstances got so arranged that God made us to have the image of Papa there in the Homa Mandir after Mataji's Mahasamadhi. And as usual, Nama chanting goes on, Arati goes on, flower offering goes on, so many things, just come to stay. It was not like that till 88. The idea was that not that any of us feel not comfortable when we go there. We feel comfortable. But Puja Mataji wanted us to make an effort to connect ourselves with the impersonal reality in one place in this hush. Where she specifically mentioned, there shall be no images kept there, no rituals performed. So when we went deeper into all these things to honor Mataji's word, and at the same time not to disturb, we decided not to have any photo in this satsang hall. That is why here there is no photo. At least we will make an effort, He specifically says, you must transcend this. Let us see what he says. Make your heart a temple. God is within you. He is always there. This very question came up when Mataji first joined Ramdas. She was looking upon Ramdas's body as so holy that she was worshipping it daily. Ramdas thought she was caught in this worship of form. Ramdas told her, you have to see Papa in your heart. How can I see you there? She asked. Ramdas said, stop this worship. Do not even prostrate before him. She was garlanding Ramdas half a dozen times a day, prostrating any number of times. Ramdas asked her to stop all this external worship. She gave it up. No garlanding, no prostrating, no worshipping. Gradually what happened? She had already no thought of things of the world. So when this support of the personal worship was also cut off, where could the mind go? It went inward. It had no other place to go. Ramdas asked her to sit for meditation. She sat. For 4 or 5 hours she was unconscious of the world. She was immersed in herself. Therefore the mind must be withdrawn from external things so that it may turn inward and realize the truth within. That is the final message of Papa gave. Therefore the mind must be withdrawn from external things so that it may turn inward and realize the truth within. So no disrespect for images. Whenever we are in a worshipful mood, normally, we close our eyes, is it not? When the worshipful mood sets in, unknowingly, we close our eyes. Unknowingly, our inward journey starts. We are not conscious of it. That is why when we go to the temple also, we look at the deity's form, then at least for a split second we close our eyes. We are not aware. So this inward, he says, therefore the mind must be withdrawn from external things so that it may turn inward and realize the truth within. So Ramnam, while discussing about Ramnam, Papa mentions about the 4 types of Ramnam. Then again 3 types of chanting. One is vocal, silent and mental. In the 4 types of approach, he says you try to, when you chant, you try to bring any form and in sound. You try to concentrate on the sound that comes from you. If that is not possible, you try to bring any form. Again, if that is not possible, the mind is going out. Where is it going out? Everything is also a form of God. If that is also not possible, he said, you be a witness. Let the mind go anywhere. So these are all the 4 clues we have given. And in the type of chanting is that the vocal chanting is of joy, collective sadhana is possible. It will be helpful also. Because Papa himself says in the group somebody would have been advanced than us. And so his presence would be of great inspiration to us. But still that question remains, that immediately after the chanting, everything gets stopped. So in order that we try to continue, stretch the same thing. The chanting, he says, you can try for silent chanting. In silent chanting, the sound will not come, but lip and tongue will move. Some activity will be. But you must hear your own chanting. And then the last one is mental chanting. In mental chanting, there won't be any sound coming out, there won't be any movement of lip and tongue, but still we must chant. We must hear. So this process, even when he asks us to give some clues about dhyana, he says mental chanting would be far more efficacious than vocal chanting. Because in vocal chanting, the mind is likely to go here and there. In mental chanting, absolute concentration is necessary. Because the moment you forget, the mind immediately goes out. You become aware of it. So many clues, therefore the mind must be withdrawn from external things so that it may turn inward and realize the truth within. So these are all the things he is reminding us again and again and again. This does not mean that vocal chanting or silent chanting is secondary, no. Nor is there any grade, no. This would be better. There are many saints we have heard, they dance. Forget about everything. The body consciousness is not there. So there are there. But we have to see for ourselves how do we take a benefit? How do we take it? And how does it help us to maintain God remembrance? These are the things that is purely relative. Person to person it changes. So we should ask, where am I? In spite of my chanting, where am I? Pujya Swamiji is that 4 suggestions, Chanting should be done with faith and devotion. Then what is the benchmark? We should be able to accept all situations. All situations. Normally we say like it or dislike it, with the same equipoise. Number 3 is whether we are satisfied with whatever that has been provided to us. No craving for any more. And finally, he says whether we are in a position to expand our love circle. So Nama chanting should not be, as somebody said, Nama chanting should not be for Nama chanting. Nama chanting should enable us to move from stage 1 to stage 2, stage 2 to stage 3, and stage 3 to stage 4. Of course, it is not structured. It is not a thing we are trying to develop. It is the outcome of the chanting with the right perspective. So these are all the things Prabhupada is reminding us again and again. Make your heart a temple. God is within you. He is always there. Therefore, the mind must be withdrawn from external things so that it may turn inward and realize the truth within. Papa here brought Mataji's, even under the banner of spirituality or on some rituals or Guru Vandan or anything, we should know it is still external. So that's why he quotes external things, The mind must be withdrawn from external things. For that he quoted Mataji's example. The other day we read out, Mataji's own words. So finally when Mataji was sent out, not to see him, from the Kasaragod ashram, she was in Ramesh house and then she wrote a letter. There she clearly also says, Krishnabai will not see Ramdas unless and until she experiences Ramdas within his heart. So in the night she will go to nearby Parvat, nearby hills and spend time there. When that stage came, Papa immediately wrote, no, you come back. Because she was clear that she has to see Papa in her own heart. That which we call it, that which makes Papa, Papa, that which makes you as you, me as me, the inner content, the core of our being. So for that, the mind must be withdrawn from external things so that it may turn inward and realize the truth within. If you want to develop, do you think God realization is a joke? God wants full price to be paid. What is the price? Total dedication. Entire, complete. Then He will come out from the depths of your being. We care for the opinions of others. We have many ambitions for the future. God is made a toy to play with. No. True devotees are ready even to die in order to attain Him. Because we are afraid of suffering, we compromise with the world, give up the path of dharma. When we do so, we have virtually given up God. Because God can be had only by following the path of righteousness. If a person can get a money by telling a lie, he is prepared to do it. Money rules the world, God is forgotten. If you want to develop God consciousness, you must feel His presence in the heart. It is no good worshipping in a picture or an image. It may be helpful for a short period, but you must transcend it. People come to the ashram here. They think it is like a temple. They peek here and there to find out where the image is. You are the image. Living, talking and walking image, Ramdas tells them. All are living images everywhere. Love, worship and serve them. Then you are worshipping God. Vivekananda says, by worshipping stone images, the worshipper's heart has turned into stone. When poor people go to such a worshipper, he will not give them a single pie, but will say, get away, don't disturb me, I am worshipping God. So the importance of truth, importance of going within has been emphasized today. First by elaborately touching upon the incident in Trivallur house. Then again now, in clear cut words He gives us. God, we all say that God remembrance, is constant remembrance. Constancy can come only when we have asked ourselves. When we are fired with an ideal or there's a positive urge in our mind, for some time to come we are conscious of it. But again you can't say it is constant. That is why we feel that the more we do manna, probably it might become clearer to us. So long as we treat God as an object unknowingly, a power outside us, there cannot be constancy. Anything other than in our mind will not stay with us always. But there is one thing which is constant in us, the I. That is with us, whether we are in any position. That's why Ranganathanji says that I, that also there is a small confusion in us. Initially we find our sense of individuality as I, which is constant. Then we close our eyes and then try to find out where the I is. We cannot localize the I. Then what remains is that, They have put it as the big guy or the self, capital S. capital self and the small self. So Ramnam chanting is to connect us, is to connect the small self to the bigger self. You are chanting the name of your own self. This is Atma Ram. This is something everyone has to do, some pondering, deep contemplation. Whenever Papa talks about constancy, why is it that I am not in a position to maintain? I want to, not that I don't want. During chanting or during bhajan or during satsang, I get an inkling, I get some connection, I feel, I get. But as soon as the program is over, I am back to square myself. So that means what I had was something other, I thought that was something other than. So what is it that stays with me always? Papa used to say, when idol worship, when Lord Krishna came and danced before him, the other day we shared, his own words. I don't want this form which will come and go. I want that which stays with always. So today he keeps on hammering on this truth, that we must be able to transcend. If you want to develop God consciousness, you must feel His presence in the heart. It is no good worshipping a picture or an image. It may be helpful for a short period, but you must transcend it. People come to the ashram here, they think it is like a temple, they peep here and there to find out where the image is. You are the image. Living, talking, walking image. Ramdas tells them. All are living images everywhere. Love, worship and serve them. So a devotee from Madras came to the ashram. After returning from there, he came to my office and he told me, I have seen a speaking God, he said. Papa, you ought to have told him, speaking gods are everywhere. You are a speaking God. Everybody speaks. Everybody is God. God speaks through many tongues. Then the devotee remembered Kabir. Kabir says, I went in search of God and found Him as myself. Papa, if you are really in search of God, you will find you are He. You must search within, not outside. Kabir says, where do you go in search of Him? He is with you. In your meditation you get Him. You must turn your mind inward. You do not see Him because there is so much of impurity in your heart. Clean it. Then you will find Him. Kabir again says, through bhakti and dhyana, turn your gaze within. You will find Him. All these external observances do not lead you anywhere. All saints in their teachings emphasize it. Apply Guru Kripa, the eye slave to your eyes, then see. Your sight will be illumined. You will see Him within and without. In the waking, dreaming, sleeping state, it is all Ram. That is the right vision. If you are sincere in your quest, you will have Him. How long will you play like this as you are doing now? You appreciate miracles. What do you get from them? Some wonderful things are done here and there. They do not help you. You must be oblivious of the world. Without Vairagya and Abhyasa, you cannot get God. When you are attached to the world, how can the mind go within and see God? Samartha Ramdas says to the mind, O gentle mind, go along the path of devotion into God. Then you will in due course have the vision of God. He calls the mind gentle, as though he pats it on the back. Look at the fates that overtook Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kaiser, Hitler. Still you have the pride that you can do everything. At one stroke your pride is made to kiss the dust you are nowhere. Give up pride, be humble, walk on the right path, you will attain perfect peace and bliss. Some people recite the 40 shlokas of Samartha Ramdas, adjust to the mind every day, and are not any the wiser for it. No change is seen in them. They are also doing it now. So many slogas we repeat every day. Some people recite the 40 slogas of Samartha Ramdas, adjust to the mind every day, and are not any the wiser for it. No change is seen in them. There is one who learned the whole of the Gita, 18 chapters, by heart. He was repeating it 10 times a day, yet he was complaining, my mind is the same. There is no change. Impurities, anxiety, sorrow, fear, doubt are all still there. Devotee, what is it due to Papa? They think that by doing Parayana they can get him. If they say chapati, dal, rice any number of times, will the stomach be filled? If man gives up attachment, he will realize God, but he does not give them up. He has so much hunger for worldly pleasures. The poor man wants to be rich, if not in this life, at least in the next life. So he carries with him this desire. For its fulfillment, he has to take another birth. He carries with him desire, life after life. Desirelessness, absence of attachment to objects is a condition for God realization. Firstly, you must be free from moha, attachment. If you are at all interested, let it be for the whole universe. Then you develop universal consciousness. But you are concerned only with those who are related to you, not outside the circle. If any one of those near and dear to you die, you are affected. You are caught in the meshes of moha. Your heart is attached to perishable things. Universal vision means love and sympathy for the whole world. The sense of nationality, caste or creed does not cloud this vision. He who has his vision loves everybody for the sake of the Atman. His love goes to all alike. This is Samadarshan, Brahmistiti. He knows that he is Brahman and that Brahman alone is. Today Papa is very serious. That means when the other party, when the devotee came here and when he went to the office, he was selling, sharing. Normally we all do that, no? I have seen a speaking God. When we are too much inspired by a guru, you say that. But Papa immediately brings up this picture. Again you are making it as an object God. The other day we read, what is his name? When you are not an object, you are God. In the great world, Mani's son Sriram, when he came out of the university, he was given a pamphlet last day on the convocation day. Beautiful. In that, all the tenets of religion were given. And this article is also given. I don't know whether Sriram has gone through it. Anyway, when Mani gave to us, it was very thrilling. Ken Wilber, yes. We begin with the realization that the witness is an ever-present consciousness. This is given to the what university? Brown University. Brown University is supposed to be an Orthodox Christian university. But you see, on the day of the convocation, a threefold or fourfold, a pamphlet was given. Beautiful. In the preamble, they have touched about the universality, and in support of this, they have brought out quotations from Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Zoroastrianism, and then this article is also included. Let's imagine for students. They know that at that age probably many, at least one may go through, no? And that will lay the foundation for that person. So he says, we begin with the realization that the witness is an ever-present consciousness. Even when we doubt its existence. Even now the witness is going on. He says beautifully, you are right now aware of, say, these words. The room, the window, the people around you, your chair, etc., etc., etc. You can sit back and simply notice that you are aware of all those objects floating by. Sounds float through the air. Thoughts float through the mind. And when you notice them, you are effortlessly aware of them. The word is beautiful. There is no strain, effortlessly aware of them. So there is a simple, effortless, spontaneous witnessing of whatever happens to be present. How he brings the God principle, so near to us. Now we know that we are talking. We know that we are seeing. We know that we are hearing. That knowing principle. So he says, when you rest in the simple, clear, ever-present witness, you are resting in the great unborn. Oh, beginningless and endless is there. You are resting in intrinsic spirit, the Atman. You are resting in infinite freedom. Mukti. How close, How he brings God close to us. You can sit back and simply notice that you are aware of all these objects floating by. And when you notice them, you are effortlessly aware of them. There is a simple, effortless, spontaneous witnessing of whatever happens to be present. When you rest in that simple, clear, ever-present witness, you are resting in the great unborn. You are resting in intrinsic spirit. You are resting in infinite freedom. You cannot be seen. You have no qualities at all. You are not this, you are not that. You are not an object. You are the opening or clearing in which the entire manifest world arises right now. But you do not arise in it. It arises in you. Great void, Papa's word. You are the opening. You are the great void. You are the opening or clearing in which the entire manifest world arises right now. But you do not arise in it. It arises in you, in the vast emptiness and freedom that you are. Spirit cannot be grasped or reached or thought or seen. It is the ever-present seer. To search for the seer is to miss the point. To search for the forever is to miss the point forever. How could you possibly search for that which is right now aware of these words? We are hearing. No, he is asking. How could you possibly search for that which is right now aware of these words? You are that. And one more clarification. You cannot go out looking for that which is the looker. You cannot go out looking for that which is the looker. And finally it is seen, when you are not an object, you are God. So when Papa says, your sight will be illumined, you will see him within and without. In the waking, dreaming and sleeping states, it is all wrong. This is the right vision. If you are sincere in your quest, you will have him. How long will you pray like this as you are doing now? Today Papa is taking PhD. He was also talking about, how our external activities like Manache Shlok or Srimad Bhagavad Gita, everything we do, everything stays at the outer life. Some people recite the 40 shlokas of Samartha Ramdas addressed to the mind every day and are not any the wiser for it. No change is seen in them. There is one who learned the whole of Gita, 18 chapters by heart. He was repeating it 10 times a day, yet he was complaining, my mind is the same. There is no change. Impurity, anxiety, sorrow, fear, doubts are still. What is it due to, Papa? They think that by doing Parayana they can get him. If they say chapati, dal, rice any number of times, will the stomach be filled? So by constant remembrance of God, you rise beyond body consciousness and dwell in divine consciousness. That is how we process it today. So for us, Ramnam has been given to us. So we now try it, He has made us to enjoy it. So from that stage we have to now move to the real purpose for which He has given us the holy mantra. We keep on trying. Initially we may not be. But so many points, practical points. Not in big words, small explanations of Papa given us. In Quest of God we found that, constant dialogue with Him, periodical resorting to solitude, accepting every situation as ordained by God, always becoming positive, always trying to maintain the equanimity, contentment to the core, no grumblings, no complaints, and always feeling He is making to go, He is making to sing, He is making to chant, He is making to do everything. Constant remembrance. This is the constant remembrance. We are trying to learn what is constant remembrance through In Quest of God. In his case, he was blessed to have it right from the beginning. He took up chanting only to keep it alive. We started chanting, now we are trying to now insert this, that is the struggle. So all these points, let us all assimilate as much as possible, think about it. Some past moments every day, some inward journey every day. And with the help of mental chanting of Ram Nam, we try for this witness. We say, the mind that listens with love to the divine name is once arrested. The end and aim of all spiritual sadhana is to merge your individuality in the great universal reality beyond name, form and movement. So enter still deeper in meditation so that your body consciousness may entirely leave you, thus granting you an experience of the Nirguna aspect of God. Sit silent, detach yourself from the mind and watch its activity. The watcher is the real you, the self-immortal. Sit silent, detach yourself from the mind and watch its activity. The watcher is the real you, the self-immortal. Papa has given us enough from outside. So we are now praying to Him. You have equipped us. Technically, you have equipped us. But something is still lacking in us to go inward. We don't know what it is. You say it is because of moha, it is because of absence of vairagya. Give us something, you know. Abhyasa and Vairagya should go together. To give us some clues by which we remove all those words, we make our move towards the goal faster. We know that is the purpose for which you have even arranged this satsang. To bring this idea, to bring this text. You shared all these, you know, during satsang. You prompted somebody to write it down. You prompted somebody to give it a shape and bring it in the form of a book. So that for aspirants like us, it will become more and more clearer and clearer as to what we should be aiming at. So we may be doing so many activities under the banner of spiritual discipline, but still now we know something more is needed. There's something more, you kindly help us. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram